Okay, private pilot oral exam covering airspace. Number 64. What are the minimum VFR cloud clearance and visibility requirements for Class Echo airspace below 10,000 feet MSL? What are they above 10,000 feet MSL? The minimum VFR cloud clearance and visibility requirements in Class Echo airspace below 10,000 feet MSL are 500 feet below clouds, 1,000 feet above clouds, and 2,000 feet horizontal from clouds, and 3 miles visibility. The minimum VFR cloud clearance and visibility requirements in Class Echo airspace above 10,000 feet are 1,000 feet below clouds, 1,000 feet above clouds, and 1 statute mile horizontal from clouds with 5 miles visibility. 65. How is Class Echo airspace that extends to the surface depicted on sectional charts? How is Class Echo to 700 feet AGL depicted? Class Echo airspace that extends to the surface is indicated on a sectional chart by the dashed magenta line surrounding the airport. Class Echo airspace that extends to the surface of an airport signifies that the airport has instrument approach procedures. Class Echo to 700 feet AGL is indicated by a shaded magenta ring. Class Echo airspace that begins at 700 feet AGL is used for transition aircraft operating under IFR to or from the terminal or en route environment. 66. What airspace designation do Federal Airways have? What are the dimensions of a Federal Airway? Federal Airways are an example of Class Echo airspace. A Federal Airway extends upward from 1,200 feet up to, but not including, 18,000 feet MSL. 67. What are minimum VFR cloud clearance and visibility requirements for Class G Gulf airspace below 1,200 feet AGL during the day, and what are they at night? The minimum VFR cloud clearance and visibility requirements in Class G airspace below 1,200 feet AGL during the day are clear of clouds and 1 mile visibility. The minimum VFR cloud clearance and visibility requirements in Class G airspace below 1,200 feet AGL at night are 152, 500 feet below, 1,000 feet above, and 2,000 feet horizontal from clouds with 3 miles visibility. 68. What are the minimum VFR cloud clearance and visibility requirements for Class G airspace above 1,200 feet AGL, but below 10,000 feet MSL during the day, and what are they at night? The minimum VFR cloud clearance and visibility requirements in Class G airspace above 1,200 feet AGL but below 10,000 feet MSL during the day are 152, 500 feet below, 1,000 feet above, and 2,000 feet horizontal from clouds, and 1 mile visibility. The minimum VFR cloud clearance and visibility requirements in Class G airspace above 1,200 feet AGL but below 10,000 feet MSL at night are 152, 500 feet below, 1,000 feet above, and 2,000 feet horizontal from clouds with 3 miles visibility. Number 69. What are the minimum VFR cloud clearances and visibility requirements for Class Bravo airspace? What are they for Class Charlie airspace? What are they for Class Delta airspace? The minimum VFR cloud clearance and visibility requirements in Class Bravo airspace are clear of clouds and 3 miles visibility. The minimum VFR cloud clearance and visibility requirements in Class Charlie and Delta airspace are 152, 500 feet below, 1,000 feet above, 2,000 feet horizontal from clouds, and 3 miles visibility. What class of airspace requires a clearance prior to entry? What class of airspace requires that two-way radio communication be established prior to entry? Class Bravo airspace requires a clearance prior to entry. Class Charlie and Delta airspace require that two-way radio communication be established prior to entry. 71. How do you determine when two-way radio communication has been established? Two-way radio communication has been established when ATC responds with your correct call sign. 72. When is a transponder with Mode C required for VFR flight? A working transponder with Mode C is required anytime you are above 10,000 feet MSL, inside Class Bravo or Class Charlie airspace, and above Class Bravo or Class Charlie airspace up to 10,000 feet MSL, or within 30 nautical miles of a Class Bravo primary airport. 73. What are the typical dimensions of Class Delta airspace? Class Delta airspace typically extends upward from the surface to 2,500 feet AGL and outward to a 5 statute mile radius from the primary airport. Airspace dimensions may vary according to local requirements, however. 74. What are the typical dimensions of Class C airspace? Class C airspace is typically composed of two sections that are referred to as the surface area and the shelf area. The surface area typically extends upward from the surface to 4,000 feet MSL and outward to 5 nautical mile radius upward from the primary airport. The shelf area typically extends upward from 1,200 feet MSL to 4,000 feet MSL and outward to a 10 nautical mile radius from the primary airport. Airspace dimensions may vary according to local requirements, however. Number 75. What is TRSA? TRSA stands for Terminal Radar Service Area. TRSAs are established around Class D airports that have radar service capability, but do not meet all of the criteria to be designated as Class C airspace. Participation in TRSA service is voluntary, though it is recommended, but two-way radio communication must still be established prior to entering Class D airspace. 76. What are the minimum cloud clearance and visibility requirements to obtain a special VFR clearance? To obtain a special VFR clearance, you must be able to remain clear of clouds and have at least 1 mile visibility. Flight under special VFR at night is only permitted if the pilot has an instrument rating and the aircraft is IFR equipped. 77. What is a prohibited area? What is a restricted area? What is a military operations area? What is an alert area? What is a warning area? Prohibited areas are established for reasons of national security. Flight is prohibited at all times within them. Restricted areas are established to contain unusual, often invisible hazards to aircraft, such as aerial gunnery or missile tests. Flight is restricted within a restricted area when that area is active. Military operation areas are established to separate IFR and military traffic. VFR flight is always permitted within MOAs. Alert areas are established to notify pilots of unusual aerial activity, such as high volume of flight training, but flight is always permitted within them. Warning areas are located offshore and are established to alert pilots. Number 78. When should you contact air traffic control after leaving from an uncontrolled satellite airport located in Class Charlie or Class Delta airspace? After departing an uncontrolled satellite airport in Class Charlie or Class Delta airspace, contact air traffic control as soon as practicable. Number 79. What is a military training route? MTR. A military training routes are depicted on sectional charts to alert pilots to establish flight paths used for military training, usually occurring at high speeds and low altitudes. Number 80. What procedure should a pilot use to depart the traffic pattern of a non-tower airport? At an airport without an operating control tower, you should depart the pattern straight out or with a 45-degree turn in the direction of traffic after reaching pattern altitude. You should state which departing procedure you intend to use when you make your takeoff call on the CTAF frequency. Number 81. What procedure should a pilot use to enter the traffic pattern of a non-tower airport? Inbound pilots are expected to observe other aircrafts in the pattern to conform to the traffic pattern in use. If there is not any traffic in the pattern, the pilot should overfly the airport at least 500 feet above pattern altitude to observe traffic and wind indicators on the ground. All entries to a non-tower airport's traffic pattern should be a 45-degree turn to the downwind entry. Number 82. What information do airport facility directories provide? Airport facility directories, AFDs, provide all the information needed for an airport or radio navigation aid, nav aid. AFDs also provide published NOTAMs and areas of parachute and aerobatic activity. 83. What type of information do sectional charts provide? Sectional charts provide topographical, physical, roads and railroad tracks, etc., airport, nav aid, and airspace information for a specific geographic location. 84. What information does the Aeronautical Informational Manual, AIM, provide? The AIM provides information regarding airport operations, navigation aids, airspace, flight operations, and ATC procedures. 85. Where can pilot certification information be found? Pilot certification information can be found in FAR Part 61. 86. Where can information on oxygen requirements, fuel requirements, airspace, and all other regulatory flights be found? All flight rules that apply to general aviation are in FAR Part 91. 87. What is an advisory circular, AC? ACs are used by the FAA as a means of issuing non-regulatory information to pilots, mechanics, and manufacturers.